The crowd voluntarily gave up a passage from the middle, a man and a woman, stepping into the venue. The woman wore a black evening dress, with a delicate face and a slender figure. Under the bright light, she has a beautiful appearance and elegant temperament, and her every move, even her walking posture, is exceptionally elegant. This beauty was the best, and Harold was completely lost in seeing her. Warnya walked into the venue, scanned with her beautiful eyes, saw 2 empty seats in the VIP area in the front row, and asked, "The 2 VIP guests I invited have not arrived yet?" Fungi Bao glanced at the guest information, frowned, and said, "Miss Song, the entrance shows that the invitation letters of these 2 distinguished guests have been verified. This proves that they have entered our auction. I don't know where did they go. Where they are." After that, he immediately ordered the people on the side, "Go and call the manager." Soon, the manager came over and asked, "Mr. Bao, what do you want?" Fungi Bao pointed to 2 vacant seats in the VIP area and asked, "2 distinguished guests have already verified the invitation letter. Why are they not in the seats?" 2 distinguished guests? The manager suddenly thought of the old and the young who had just been driven out by him. Is it? Shouldn't. Since they have an invitation letter and they are still VIPs, why not let them check? Is he angry? Over. Fungi Bao glanced at the manager's panic, glanced at the security guard on one side, and said, "You do." The security guard did not dare to hide it, and quickly recounted what had happened. After listening, Warnya frowned, glanced at Fungi Bao, and said, "Mr. Bao, I will go to Mr. Charlie first, and leave it to you to deal with this matter. I hope you can give me a satisfactory result." Fungi Bao nodded and watched Warnya leave. He looked gloomy and stared at the manager. "Are you tired of life? Even the distinguished guests invited by Miss Song personally dare to offend?" The manager's legs softened, and he immediately knelt on the ground, pointing at Harold not far away, and cried out, "Mr. Bao, I didn't mean it, it was this bee at Starred who tricked me." Fungi Bao kicked the manager's face fiercely, kicked him to the ground, and cursed, "Let your dog see people down again. Now roll immediately. Don't let me see you again. In addition, today caused according to the terms of the labor contract, you will compensate for all the losses incurred by you. If you lose a penny, I will kill you. Mr. Bao, please spare me." The manager was very frightened. The loss was not small. It was really necessary to compensate, and it was not enough to pay for the loss of his property. "The lawyer will inform you how much compensation should be paid," Fungi Bao said coldly. The manager turned around, knelt on the ground, and kept kowtow apologizing. Fungi Bao kicked him in disgust, winked at the left and right security guards, and whispered, "Take him out and break his legs. Let him not have eyes. He has been in shopping malls for many years, and naturally, he is not a good person. He is inconvenienced in front of everyone, but he will never be merciless in private. Lord, I got it wrong, please open the net." The manager was so scared that he begged for mercy. 2 security guards rushed forward and dragged him away with their arms. Fungi Bao then turned his attention to Harold, and said to the people around him, "Go, bring me that man." Harold was still proud at this time, and he was even more pleased when he heard that the Treasure Pavilion's owner saw him. Everyone knows that Master of Treasure Pavilion has a very deep background. If this can be flattered and attached, there will naturally be benefits in the future. When he came to Fungi Bao, Harold flattered and complimented, "Oh, hello Mr. Bao. Your little brother has long admired your name. I see you today. It is indeed a dragon and phoenix among the people and a well-deserved reputation you have." Mr. Bao gritted his teeth, kicked Harold far away, and cursed, "D*MN, Harold, right? You dare to offend our Miss Song's guests. I think you are tired and crooked." Harold wanted to take the opportunity to establish a relationship with Fungi Bao, but he never dreamed that Fungi Bao would suddenly kick him off. He rolled on the ground several times before he could stabilize his figure and sat on the ground at a loss. "Mr. Bao, what is going on? Is there any misunderstanding?" The others in the room also looked silly. "Is this guy from the Wilson family? Why did you offend Mr. Bao? The Wilson family doesn't have many abilities. Now that you offend the pavilion master, you won't be able to mix in Orus Hill in the future? For a time, there were a lot of discussions. Many people even watched Fungi Bao fighting against Harold with the mentality of watching a good show. At this time, Fungi Bao glared at Harold and snorted coldly. Misunderstanding? I mistook your mother. After that, he came up and kicked him again, and the kick made him cry out for a change. Fungi Bao still didn't subdue his hatred, so he stepped directly on his chest and said sternly, B*****, do you know who you offended? Harold's face was dumbfounded. I haven't offended anyone, Mr. Bao, this is really a great injustice. Fungi Bao raised his hand and slapped him twice, and scolded angrily. Dog, the two you offended are distinguished guests of Miss Song. I really kill you and it still would not reduce my hatred.